Post UDS Indie Metagame update. Whew. Well, what I got for you guys today? Well, we decided to go back in time, and well, we know how great the past was. So, we get to go back into a time capsule, back into an earlier time where the format wasn't so developed, called the 275-man UDS tournament. And what interesting things we really got out of this tournament. Let's dig on into the mid-August metagame discussion, shall we? Alright, well, yikes, ladies and gentlemen. What do we have here? So, we're going to talk about Pure Thunder conceptually for really the rest of this format. So, everybody except for like 2 people forgot that Pure Thunder existed as a deck. Everybody has been like, oh, you have to play Crusadia. Oh, you have to play Danger with this deck. This is clearly what this was meant for. Going to the UDS this weekend. And what did we get? Pure Thunder. One, Aloof Lupine, that card that we all forgot about existing. Battery Man Solar, by the way. And I think a lot of people forgot that Colossus's and Titans Disruption-esque cards, maybe they're better than the rest of the format. Well, here's my problem with double Colossus, alright? That's a giant yikes from Super Poly, alright? So, for those of you that haven't been living under a rock, you do know that Super Poly's at 3, right? So to kind of see that Pure Thunder kind of came back out of the woodwork was particularly interesting to me. Though, in your Sky Striker matchup, where they shouldn't be packing Super Polys yet. We saw that innovation in build, what was it, a format and a half ago? Or we had players that were like, oh yeah, we're gonna test Super Poly and already cramped extra deck. I mean, it works out, don't get me wrong, but yikes. So, a deck that has a consistently fair matchup against the board and is really strong. Pure Thunder, proving that, yeah, Guard Dragon Crusadia, the rest of the packages you can play with the deck, they're still good. Don't get me wrong. This could just be an abnormality. But maybe Pure Thunder deserves to be relooked at this point in time. LOL, Dragon Matrix is back, baby. That one shocks me. Just seeing it come back. Whew. Now, for those of you that were here earlier last week, I said Orcust secretly might be the best deck for UDS Indie. And the deck ended up, it won the PPG, right? And then we come into the UDS this weekend, 2nd place, by the way. Once again, this deck took a step back. We saw that players were combining this with the already strong Warrior engine. Everybody forget that Neospatial Connector plus Aqua Dolphin still rips cards from your opponent's hand. It's still a starter package. And just because you lost Rusty Bardish does not mean that you still can't do the things that you want to do with the PK engine, because it's still there. And coming out this weekend, we definitely proved that you can still do the things that you want to do with this deck, just with a couple extra pieces to the puzzle. Hand traps are just kind of taking a back seat at the moment. It's kind of interesting. Hand traps do stop progress on this format. And I mean, Droll and Lockbird being one of those better ones. But when you just kind of look at deck creation right now, maybe it's just we're not exploring hand traps enough at the moment. Or, I don't know, or maybe there's just enough 2-card combos to start the deck and go. I don't know, when you're threading in a Soul Day combo and whatnot, and a Phantom Knight combo on top of it, and Orcust, the sad thing here is you got to pick your poison. And I think the harsh reality of the situation here is maybe just only having 1 negate in your opening hand just isn't enough. So I kind of think that's what we come down to now. Orcust evolved in very interesting ways. We have Pendulum Magician Orcust this weekend as well. The engine itself is still very much alive. Definitely proving now as we go into YCS Portland in the near future here, you're going to continue to see these innovations do well. So yes, Orcust is still sitting at the dinner table, as it really should be. Next up we have Sky Striker. So the format is evolving in interesting ways. And when I say interesting, Eradicator Epidemic Virus has started to show its ugly head as a side deck choice. Now, I'll cover this more in the side deck video, but Sky Strikers, they lost the multi-roll. They're still there. It's still a very good control deck. Widowmaker is still phenomenal, but here's the issue we run into this. While the format is evolving to counteract this between Cosmic Cyclone and Eradicator Epidemic Virus, depending on the large scale of a possible shift that we might see here, we could drop Sky Striker down even further. I don't think it's going to leave the top 5. If anything, we're going to probably just shift numbers around. But I will say that the way that this is looking right now, it's not that it's looking bad for Sky Striker, but we're definitely in a much heavier format to counteract Sky Striker. So if you're a Sky Striker player, you can't really prepare for EEV. When it happens, and it's kind of a shame, but you're going to just have to try to close out the game before your opponent gets to the EV. And I hate saying that when it happens, and there's nothing you can do about it, because that's just outright dirty, and having interactions like that you can't deal with. But I mean, if you go first and you get to the judgment, and your opponent breaks your board and goes through, and you didn't waste the judgment, and they EV you, they've pretty much already won anyway. So I don't know, I just don't see a feasible way to counter it. So just be prepared going forward. That's how decks are going to be packing. Possibly more EV. It's definitely what I saw of the PPG and whatnot this weekend with the UDS was there's a lot of EEV, and it's spreading quickly. So I'm glad to see that the virus is back in full swing, though. Number 4 on this list, we have Solid Man Great. The not so great budget deck anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you had the deck before the before time and you had Signet Minings, congratulations. You definitely had a keeper, alright? If you were a budget player and you didn't have the Signet Minings, yikes. This once budget deck felt very, very weird about those. Man, hitting those generic cards was just a slap in the face for budget players. But I mean, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing that you can do about it, which is the sad part. So the times that I see Solid do good are honestly the times where Gazelle going to 1 doesn't seem like it matters. In other games, it clearly matters that Gazelle went to 1. But if you have enough of those games where the 1 Gazelle doesn't affect you and it's like you're still playing 3 of it, then those are the games I think that Solid does the best. Now, I've seen Solid limping on a couple of legs this format. That's not a bad thing. The deck it's still in that weird place. It's still being innovated. I mean, how much innovation room do you really have? I guess if you're trying to decide if you're going to play an extra Peacock or something. Foul? What? Like, I guess that's to the extent that the deck is kind of going at the moment. But, I don't know. The disruptions of the traps are still as good as they've ever been. Do players just not want to play this deck? I guess that's kind of what I'm getting out of this. Like, it just seems like Solid players are just kind of over this format. I don't know. But I think the deck is still going to continue to top. The deck's still got great disruptability in the format. And some of the boards I've seen this weekend were really spicy from a lot of players. So, I don't know. Don't be shocked to continue to see Solid. It's definitely doing better than Pendulum Magician for the most part, which is kind of interesting because also 13-round event consistency, by the way. The last deck we're going to talk about here being at the dinner table is Altergeist. Now, in my previous video I was talking about Geist. I said we're at the point in the format where players just aren't citing Red Reboot. They're just like, oh, I don't have to worry about Altergeist anymore. Well, in walks one Altergeist player. He's like, oh, I can win this event. There are no Red Reboots. I mean, not to do my thing. So the only weakness that you have to deal with is yourself. By the way, you have access to Secret Village for disruptability. Your life is great for you. You know, when the format's not citing for you, it's a great time to be alive. That's how True Draco won that one YCS in the middle of nowhere. Everybody stopped citing for it, so you just get a free win. So looking at Altergeist going forward, I still think that this is the 5th best deck in the format. Yes, I know True Draco. Yes, I know Pendulum Magician are sitting at the dinner table as well. But there's just kind of something about these cards that, guys, do we care about them? I don't know. I guess it's just not worth citing Red Reboot for these decks anymore. I don't know, it's weird. But we'll cover the other half of the meta later. I'm just looking at this list, I'm like, I still want to talk about the craziness of this Pendulum Magician. some of the other decks that are out there, but the UDS I think has kind of set us in stone going forward. We'll see kind of like how September starts to shape things up, how YCS Portland is going to change things as well. And we have Fist of the Gadgets. I don't know where Fire Fist is going to sit at the table, but I tell you, I'm excited to see. Gadgets aren't going to do anything. Don't lie to me and tell me that they're good, because I'm already sad. Like, you guys missed the whole 30 minutes of me actually crying like a little girl. Like, I actually felt like I was a little girl. It was a sad time. Alright guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Remember, show me some love in this video, like this video, comment, subscribe, and well, the Purple Genius is out. Peace out, guys. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.